Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Together.
My heart's telling me to get engaged, but my gut's telling me don't do it.
And who leaves?
Please rise.
Married.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of Bachelor in Paradise. This is the finale for Almost Paradise. Yes, you guys, this was the grand finale for season 9. So, it looks like the last week of Paradise, it started with an underlying somber feeling because it was the day after that crazy rose ceremony that we saw last week where the people just self-eliminated like crazy and left. So Mercedes and Jess are still there, but they are coming to the realization that they are there by themselves and might leave with no one. Blake is gone, Tyler's gone, and those were the two that these two were dating. Mercedes seems to be glad that she dodged a bullet with Tyler, but Jess is definitely missing Blake. But now that he is gone, hopefully her and Tanner can start something. John Henry seems to really be liking Kat, and then there's a date card for them to go on a date, so that's pretty exciting, and they're excited about that. So they go on this date, and they are on the ocean. They do that little boat thing where they stand on the boats, and they're falling into the water and having a lot of fun. Then they go to sit on the sand, and there's a lot of physical touch with Henry and Kat, kissing a lot, laying on each other, so they definitely are into each other. John Henry says that he loves how sweet she is. For example, like when she's there to comfort some of the women when they're going through hard stuff and stuff like that on the beach, and she says thank you, and she says that she definitely has a hard shell, and she reveals something very interesting which really made me see her in a different way. She says that when she was a teenager, she was actually in a group home and wasn't with her parents, and that affected her a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, in all seriousness, it really shows a different side of her. He also went on to say that he struggled through depression and that he thinks that she would definitely help him with that. And she says that she would love to grow with him and for them to care about one another. So things look pretty good for them. I think there is still a part of me that like looks at them with a side eye just because of how their relationship transpired. But I mean, if they really do like each other, then I guess I'm happy for them. There is another couple that goes on a date, and this was Aaron and Eliza. So they get the date card, and they are certainly one of, if not the strongest relationship right now. But their relationship is making Kaylee a little insecure because she sees that with Aaron and Eliza, Aaron would like be willing to get on one knee right then and there for Eliza, but she feels like Avan isn't there. He's not turning the green light on, so she needs to figure that out with him. So it's a little later, and Aaron and Eliza go on their date to some sort of shaman spiritual session. They take off their clothes and they're being cleansed, and then they go into a cave. Now, the lady was steaming some water. Too much for me. Alright, I'm not into that voodoo, whatever the hell that is, but they do share little bits of their feelings and stuff like that as they're sitting, and then when they're done with this ritual thing, then they tell each other that they are falling in love for one another, and he is ready for an engagement. They are both very excited, and it's a mutual feeling, so that's great. Back at the beach where they are still people just hanging out, Kat and John Henry are still pretty close, and they even go as far as to see that they're willing to move for each other, like across the states, so that's pretty big. Meanwhile, Jess and Mercedes are being like isolated because they feel really lonely. Kat wanted to go talk to Jess, and just by Kat approaching her, Jess was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. She was really going through it. She grabs Tanner to go talk to him, and oh my gosh, I get that Jess is going through a lot and that she went through a lot. She's also always covered in glitter, by the way, but she's starting to get a little bit of annoying. Like, woe is me. She's depressed. She feels like she's done, and I'm just like, I've had it with Jess. So that's why it was no surprise that she decided to leave, and so does Tanner. So that's why she wanted to talk to him to sort of end things with him, and there really was no road for her to be on. So it's goodbye for both Jess and Tanner. But of course, it makes people at the beach pretty sad. Kaylee then takes the opportunity to see where Avan's head space is at. She says that she's been upset about them not being on the same page when it comes to an engagement. So she wants to ask, like, where is his head at? And he says, why is, like, an engagement the only way that you will believe me that I want to be with you? He's trying to gaslight her. I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for her to want to be engaged. Like, this is part of the show in a way. But he starts to get angry and upset. Then she gets upset. They're clearly not on the same page. He says that he's going to go to bed and he leaves. And she starts crying. She wants to know if they know that they are like the right one for each other. Why not just get engaged? Also, her crying like this and him just walking past her and ignoring her is such a red flag. Okay, it's then a new day. Eliza and Aaron are closer than ever, but Kaylee is still going through it. She says that she went to sleep and woke up sick to her stomach seeing how Avan ran when things got hard last night. She doesn't know where to go from here and wishes she would have known this from the very beginning. So then someone arrives. Mari and Kenny. I was so excited to see them. To be honest, the season that they were on was probably the best season of Paradise ever. It was 2 years ago, so it's amazing to see that they are still stronger than ever. They give them a little bit of advice because they were there in that situation just like they are, but they are there because they're going to get married. So I quickly remember from the trailer from last week that they kept showing that someone was going to get married, but obviously it wasn't someone from the cast. It was Mari and Kenny. That's awesome. Also, I have to point out that I heard Kaylee say, I miss Blake, which if you remember what happened last week, it's a little suspicious. And this makes it hard for her with Avan as well. But it's time for the wedding. They had a really nice setup. Blake walks in because apparently he's Kenny's best man. And someone is like, Kaylee, Blake is here. I was like, excuse me? Like, what's going on? So they had a mariachi and Mari makes her way there. I'm sure this wasn't their real wedding. I mean, it was like a low budget wedding with some whack guest. Like, this was not the real wedding, but it was still nice. Mari is beautiful, to be honest. And Jesse said some words, and then Kenny and Mari say their vows, talking about coming to paradise, meeting each other. Wells hands them the rings, and they put them on each other, and I loved it. It definitely inspired the other couples and made them be a little bit more hopeful, and Jesse pronounced them husband and wife. Then they will have the reception later that night. Blake and Kaylee were very touchy, by the way. So it's a little bit later and it's time to party. They get dressed up in neon colors and funny clothes and they're having a good time. So Kenny and Mari, I really think the producers had to drag them. Like, they must have said to them, we need you guys to come put on a show because this season has been so boring. Please come, we will pay you double. Because they even had a low budget cake. So, you know, throughout the party, Kaylee grabs Blake to tell him what's going on. She says that she feels like ever since he left, things have gone so left for her. She tells them about Avan not being ready for the engagement. She's having doubts, like, is she enough? And are these realistic reservations or are they red flags? And Blake says, just go for it. Give her your all. And I guess it was so anticlimactic that literally, I guess that Kaylee just wanted Blake to give her a male perspective. For some crazy reason, I was expecting Kaylee to leave Avan for Blake. But this was also around like the 1 hour and 30 minute mark where I just thought to myself, I cannot take another hour and 30 minutes of this. It's too much. But again, there are some good relationships. Kat, John Henry, Olivia, and Micheal, and Peter and Sam. So Kaylee does go and talk to Avan. He also got some advice from Kenny and Mari. So he tells Kaylee that he's come to the realization from the bottom of his heart that he has feelings for her, and they're so strong. He does not want to lose her, and he wants to start a life with her. And he's falling in love with her. But he's gonna need more time until he engages with her, and he hopes that's enough for her. She says that, well, thank you. She's falling in love with him as well, but that an engagement really solidifies things. Then they argue, because he says that an engagement is not the only way someone can commit to another person, and she starts to cry again. I just don't understand this fool, because he done came to the Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, 2 shows about getting engaged, and for him to be like, I'm not ready. Well, it is in a new day. Mercedes was talking to, I forgot his name, the guy she was trying to make things better with, and she breaks up with him. Jordan was his name. So they both leave. So that was sad for Kaylee since Mercedes and her are such good friends, but that was it. Okay, so then Jesse gathers them. These are the last 5 couples, and he says that Paradise is officially over, so it's time for them to have the real conversation and for them to think about the next step, which is going to be fantasy suites and then possibly an engagement. So they need to start talking about it. Kaylee is still feeling sad and says that she even prayed for Avan to change his mind about the engagement. So the first to talk are Eliza and Aaron, and they agree that they will be taking the next step and go to the suite. Avan and Kaylee talk yet again. He continues to say that he is so sure about them, really loves her, but is not folding to the idea of the engagement, which is what confuses Kaylee. If she's the one and he loves her so much, why not just propose? She even brings up Rachel and says that when he was definitely in the headspace with her, he was getting pissed. He asks point blank, if we don't get engaged, are we done? Like, that's all he wanted to know. She really wants to know why he's reluctant to get engaged, and he says that there's other ways to show love, but he does love her and doesn't want to lose her, and she says that at the end of the day she doesn't want to lose him either, so they agree to stay together, but they will be leaving the beach together. That's it, and that's all. I mean, obviously she's not happy about this whatsoever, but at least they're together. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a couple leave together that look so miserable. At the end of the day, I don't think they like each other. I think that, listen here, I think Kaylee wanted a nice engagement on television and have that nice ring. I think that's what it was all about. And maybe he wanted it to be a little bit more personal, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so Peter and Sam have a chat. They really like each other, but they have to be honest. Sam says that she feels like they should be much further than what they really are, and she wants a more intense love, and she's grateful for the relationship that they had, but she thinks that it's not going to be able to continue after this. Peter is so confused and shocked, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I say we were not really invested in them, but I do remember seeing them quite happy and genuine, so I'm surprised what happened there. Peter actually left crying, poor guy. I think Sam just wanted to spend the summer here with a free vacation. Okay, Olivia and Micheal talk. She says that she actually feels so good about him, and she really likes him, and it's really up to him. And he says that he appreciates the time, but he's going to be realistic and wants to tell her that they cannot leave with a relationship out of there. So that's it. It's sad, and Olivia leaves. She was definitely disappointed. Poor girl went through so much this season. I mean, just heartbreak after heartbreak. She's devastated, and maybe they just didn't get there because Micheal did come so far along. Maybe that's it, but it still makes her sad, and she wants to know, will there ever be anyone there for her someday? So who would have thought that Kat, John Henry, Eliza, and Aaron would be the last standing couples? So later that night, it's overnights, and they go to a luxury hotel. Both of the couples have nothing but nice things to say about each other, and they are so in love with one another, so they are ready for what's to come. Eliza was definitely feeling a little nervous, but Aaron did give her a good he reassured her a lot and was definitely there to protect her. So both couples spend the night, and the first couple that we focus on is Eliza and Aaron. They were very happy when they woke up. Eliza's still feeling a little bit confused, not confused, but just doesn't know what's going to happen. But they get on to the last rose ceremony. Aaron gives a speech. He says that he has found love with her. He loves everything about her smile, her skin, everything. He says that he knows that she likes her eggs well done, like everything. I believe him when he says that he truly loves Eliza. You can tell. He also, a little while ago, called her mom to get her blessing. So that's such a gentleman thing to do, and he gets down on one knee and he asks, will you marry me? And she says yes. The funny thing is, Eliza still didn't know what was going to happen even when she got to this last rose ceremony, but she says yes, and they are now engaged. Then we switch over to Kat and John Henry, who are waking up. They definitely had a good night, and Kat says that she wants to wake up every morning next to him and that they're going to just go for it. John Henry doesn't know what he's going to do. He wants to propose, propose, but he's saying that his gut is telling him not to. So once they get together in the little ceremony, Kat gives a little speech or a monologue talking about how happy she is and wants to be with him. She's in love with him and wants to be with him forever. Then it's his turn, and he says it's been a wild ride, but he trusts his gut almost on everything. It's always helped him, and right now it's telling him that he should wait because what if, and it's too soon. But he says that, and he definitely scared her, but he says that today's going to be different. He's going to put aside his gut and listen to his heart, because his heart is telling him that she is amazing and he loves her. So with that being said, he gets down on one knee. Oh my gosh, what a turn of events. They kept saying they loved each other. He proposed. She said yes. Wow. I'm kind of rooting for them at this point. I mean, who would have thought that homie Hopper would have got engaged? So these are the two couples that got engaged, you guys. Eliza and Aaron and Kat and John Henry. They got together, they celebrated, and that was all for the season. And then I guess the season was so boring and lame that they didn't really have much content for a reunion, after the final roast. So what they did was they did a massive recap of like first dates and heartbreaks and fun of the season, and then they do some updates of the people, sort of like a where are they now type of thing. Nothing exciting. Pretty much everyone who left is still single, and these two that got engaged are still engaged. But the crazy one that I just was that apparently Brayden and Aaron the white guy, almost died on some boat, and now Brayden is dating Christina from Zach's season, the one with the daughter. And like, what a plot twist. I feel like Brayden himself is such a plot twist. Like, what the heck? And then they also give some updates on like other Bachelor in Paradise couples, like Joe and Serena, and then some even older ones that have like gone married and have kids and stuff like that. And that was it, you guys. It's over. Thank God. Let me tell you something about this episode. Too long, too boring, did not need to be 3 hours. I'm glad I was able to recap this in 16 minutes for anyone who didn't see the episode. Trust me, you're not missing that much. But that was it for this season, you guys. Again, I was entertained. I did see the whole season. Was it the best season? No, but it was alright. So you guys, let me know in the comment section, what did you think of this overall season, and what did you think about the two engagements? Were you surprised by these two engagements? Let me know all your thoughts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. The Bachelor returns in January. Bachelor Nation, we will be here talking about what's his name? Joey, the new Bachelor, and they even showed a sneak peek, and it looks like it's gonna be a hell of a season. So I will see y'all there. In the meantime, y'all have a great one. Bye.